Now, Sweat Africa is bringing together 100+ African startups and 50+ international investors for the continent's first experiential startup and venture festival. The two-day gathering, taking place in Stellenbosch, will feature structured investor-founder matching, among others. Now, joining us to talk further about this first of its kind is Professor Tulio de Oliveira. He's director at the CERI Institute at Stellenbosch University and one of the co-founders of Sweat Africa. Good afternoon, Professor. Thank you very much for joining us on the SABC. Now, when reading this press statement, I immediately thought, well, timed, much needed in an economy such as ours, where SMEs are said to be the biggest employer now. Just talk us through the conceptualization phase of Sweat Africa. What had been the observations in the business sector that prompted this founding?
Okay, yeah. First, just good afternoon to all your viewers. Yeah, so Sweat Africa, it came when we joined all the forces of all the main universities in South Africa. And that's a little bit unusual because the universities like to compete with each other, yeah. So we managed to get all the main top universities in South Africa to work together with the companies, the innovations, to bring them together to one big event. But then we got much more than the South Africans. Some of the big players in Europe, in the United States, and in the continent saw that a great opportunity to also portray the main up-and-coming business. So we end up with over 100 startups, some of them very large, getting close to R1 billion, and from 14 African countries. And then together with some of the top global investors coming together to highlight how the science that is being developed in Southern Africa and Africa can contribute to the development of companies and in employment.
Now, this event is taking place from the 13th, I stand corrected, but nevertheless, you say now it's 100+ companies. So I take it already that is concluded. Just talk us through the criteria. How were they selected to partake in this program or this festival?
Okay, thank you. So the first thing that we engage with what we call the ecosystem builders, to identify the top companies to come. So one of the programs that we are putting together this week at Stellenbosch, which will be present in the Sweat Africa, is a program that we have with MIT. MIT is one of the top universities in the world, in Boston, and with the Open Startup International. For that program, we got 300 applicants, and we select the top 10 companies to be accelerated. In addition to that, we did the same by going back to the universities and the incubators across South Africa and Africa, which then they have not only to suggest which ones to join, but also to buy tickets to participate. We got completely sold out. And not only on the companies that come in, and we have some phenomenal companies coming. So here in Stellenbosch, we have what you call the famous four. That's 4 of the companies that came from Stellenbosch University that are becoming unicorn companies close to R1 billion. So one of them make components for satellites. The other one make electric delivery cars. The third one, you may even have drink if you have like almond cappuccino or oat milk. The butternut, it's now completely corner all the market of nuts in South Africa.
Yes.
In addition to that, we have some of the best companies that has been developed in Kenya, Tunisia, Nigeria. So it's almost a place that we want all the serious investors in the country to be looking where they can put money to generate the biggest company in the next few years in the continent.
Now, when reading through this statement, Professor, it speaks of structured investor-founder matchmaking. There have been many such gatherings, of course. It's not a novel concept of matching founders to investors, but I take it the inclusion of just the term structured was intentional on your part. So just talk us through what kind of matchmaking process is this that you had to emphasize that it would be a structured one?
Okay, thank you. So as part of the program, the first thing, what's different this program and why we call experimental festival, that the program is put by the startup owners. Yeah, so that's something that's going from the bottom to the top. Yeah, which is very unusual. Normally, is the opposite. Yeah, so things that we have put in the program. Yeah, something that's called the reverse pitch. So when investors, venture capitalists, they go and they pitch what they are interested to fund. Yeah, and then after that we have what you call a pitching picnic. Yeah, that we are setting up like 15 picnic sites for kind of fast dating between the startups and the VCs. Yeah. Other ones, it is the side meetings. That's sometimes the most important. So, for example, and that Stellenbosch work very well. Yeah, so we're gonna have side meetings in over 10 different wineries where we bring then big and medium companies with a pool of investors, yeah, to discuss what it would be like a kind of more direct investment. And we are doing that not only from Stellenbosch, but we also have WITS, we have University of Cape Town, we have the economic program in South Africa, both from the government and the Western Cape. So it became kind of this big festival with dozens and dozens of side events. We are expecting over 200 side meetings where we're matching both investors with startup owners and companies.
Most certainly a much-needed initiative. Professor, thank you very much for your time this afternoon, and good luck from the 13th to the 14th, to be exact. That's Professor Tulio de Oliveira, Director at CERI Institute. This is at the Stellenbosch University, and of course, he's one of the co-founders of Sweat Africa.